नोटेशंस भी बंद करनी पड़ेगी। ठीक है। ओके। एक बार यार सब मुझे बता दो कि मेरी आवाज़ आपको ढंग से आ रही है, कितनी आ रही है, कितनी नहीं आ रही है। ठीक है, शो एक्टिव स्पीकर। यार ये मेरी फ़ोटो क्यों नहीं दिख रही है इसमें? एनीवेज। ओ ओ ओ ओ ओके। ठीक है। हम्म। चैट में बता दो, आवाज़ बढ़िया से आ रही है नहीं आ रही है? हम्म। प्रैक्टिसिंग क्वेश्चंस एंड थ्योरेटिकल कॉन्सेप्ट लेवल ऑर्डर ट्रावर्सल। ठीक है, बढ़िया से आ रही है बिल्कुल। मज़ा आ रहा है आज। एंड फॉर ऑल द इंग्लिश अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑडियंस, एम आई ऑडिबल, एम आई विजिबल, एम आई लुकिंग गुड और नॉट? प्लीज टेल मी इन द चैट्स। एक हीरो कह रहा है बच्चा, अबे बनेगा ज़्यादा। चलो 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 चलो। ठीक है। लेट मी फर्स्टली शो यू how you can actually watch this video. Okay, like the recording of this live session and the previous live sessions. ठीक है, तो आई थिंक आपको ये दिख रही है स्क्रीन। कैन यू गाइस सी द स्क्रीन? कैन यू गाइस सी यूट्यूब? अच्छा, ये तो कनेक्ट ही नहीं होगा ना। Okay, so unfortunately, the YouTube thing is off. I'll tell you what you guys need to do. So you need to type Geeks for Geeks over here. Okay, after typing Geeks for Geeks, in YouTube there are sections: shorts, videos, courses, live. You have to go to live. Geeks for Geeks, फिर live जाना है आपको, right? Geeks for Geeks and then live. Let me share my screen again. The second screen. Let us have some baatcheet, and in the chats Vishal has given you the link. Now it's very simple for you. Okay. हम्म। ठीक है। ऑलराइट। एंड आज बिकॉज दिस इज द लास्ट सेशन ऑफ you guys and me, so at the end we will have some talk. ठीक है, कुछ बातचीत बातचीत होगी। And today's lecture is going to be a small lecture comparatively, 1.5 hours. I'll take this lecture till 9:30. I'm sorry, मैं आपको दिखा दिखा के खा रहा हूँ। आप बच्चे बेचारे वेट कर रहे होंगे अपने डिनर का। रियली सॉरी। एंड आई एम मंचिंग। इट इज़ नॉट कुरकुरे, इट इज़ टकाटक एक्चुअली। आई डोंट नो, जीएफजी में इट इज़, यू नो, allowed to endorse products, but I am endorsing. Hmm. Yeah, nice. ठीक है। अनफॉर्चुनेटली नितिन, आई डू नॉट नो तेलुगु, नॉट इवन 1% in fact. Hmm. Can you please summarize what have been done so far? Okay, so this, firstly, let me just tell you how to access my lectures. Okay, so you have to go to Geeks for Geeks YouTube channel. So the YouTube channel name is Geeks for Geeks only. How you can identify it is by seeing the number of subscribers, which are currently 1 million. So बहुत बढ़िया बात है। तो then from here you have to go to the live section. In the live section you will see a lot of videos, a lot of videos. Then you will see some binary search tree videos, sorry, binary trees videos. Okay, so there are in total 3 sessions, including this one. So if you go to this channel, the current live with the red circle, the video that is actually going live on YouTube is this video, right? It is this video, right? And you will see two more videos. Of course, the one which is uploaded first is the first video, and then comes the second video, obviously, right? So in those videos, the summary is something like this. Firstly, I told you what binary trees are. I gave an introduction and I compared binary trees with linked list. I showed you the node of linked list and I showed you the node of binary trees and the difference between them. I implemented them in Java, but I told that in C++ and Python it is quite similar. Then I told you about what the root of a binary tree is, what the leaf nodes are, which nodes are considered to be parents of certain child nodes, right? All these things. What is a null node? What exactly is a binary tree? And what exactly is a generic tree? Like the one having multiple children, any number of children is a generic tree. 0, 1, 2 is a binary tree. Then I actually printed all the values and created a tree in the IntelliJ IDEA IDE. Then I told you a very, very important concept, which I would like to tell you again, which is root, left subtree, and right subtree. Each node of the tree represents a tree itself. For example, this 10 node represents this entire tree. This 60 node represents this small tree. This 30 node represents this tree and so on. Even this node represents a tree with one node, right? So this is the thing I told you about subtrees. Then this was very important. I showed you how recursion works in a binary tree. Okay, how it actually works, how the left and right calls are made by a beautiful example of Raghav, Keshav, Priyanka, Nitin, Kumud, Aditya, and Sam. Okay, lucky guys. They got a shout out as well, indirectly. Anyways, then I told you Euler's store tree. Then after that, we did pre-order extensively. Pre-order, in order, post-order, everything, right? I gave some homeworks to you. Then I showed you four similar questions, which were size, sum, max, and product and levels of a tree, right? And then after that, I summarized and all. I showed you some questions, invert a binary tree, same tree, symmetric tree, and that's it. Today we are going to solve more questions and level order. All right. There is no such marking of attendance, Shiva. You are just attending a very good and a great free boot camp. ऑलराइट सर, आपको मैसेज किए बट आपने रिप्लाई नहीं किए. आई विल रिप्लाई यू. आई डेंट सी योर मैसेज. आई थिंक मोस्टली लोगों का तो आई रिप्लाइड. एनीवेज, रियली सॉरी फॉर दैट. ओके, this is a 3 class series only. This is not a complete end-to-end live batch. Also, a live batch is also coming. मैं यहाँ पे कोई endorsement नहीं करना चाह रहा, but I'm just telling you that yes, there will be a live batch in which मैं यानी कि राघव, I will teach. Raghav Garg will teach. Teach what? Data structures and algorithms from the very basics to advanced, covering almost every single pattern of DSA questions. And it will be a live batch. So it will be engaging and obviously it is going to be extremely affordable. Okay. So very, 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 very affordable live batches. Mein it will be a very affordable batch as well. Abhi, this batch will come in 20 to 25 days around. It will be launched in 10 days probably, right? We will go give some codes for you guys specifically who are attending these 3 sessions. तो सिर्फ आपके लिए थोड़ी स्पेशल ट्रीटमेंट होगी, बट ये बाद की बातें हैं. ये सब अभी मैं कूपन कोड नहीं बेचूंगा, बेचने नहीं आया हूँ अभी. अभी आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग यू क्योंकि काफ़ी सारे स्टूडेंट्स वर लाइक दे वांट टू लर्न फ्रॉम द वेरी बेसिक्स. एंड क्योंकि वी आर रिवाइजिंग, वी आर नॉट रिवाइजिंग, वी आर स्टडिंग बाइनरी ट्रीज ओवर हेयर, विच इज़ नॉट अ बेसिक टॉपिक, इट इज़ अ मीडियम लेवल टॉपिक. ऑल राइट, so let's start with today's lecture. By time span, basically of the batch, the time will be 3 months. Okay. It depends, yeah. Matlab, it is supposed to be a 2.5 month batch, but it depends on the number of classes. The content will be extensive. Okay, the content will be extensive. Okay. And the DP series will come on YouTube for free. Also, a lot of students who will be unable to purchase a particular batch for whatever XYZ reasons, or some students are like, yaar, free ही बढ़िया रहता है. So in Geeks for Geeks YouTube channel, you will get free of cost DSA series by me. as well. Okay, the thing is it will be recorded, so of course there is a difference. Okay, so this is the scene. Not C language, it will be C++, Java, Python, the batch, and today I am going to code in Java. Okay, now एक बार यार प्लीज चैट में सारे बच्चे लिख दो, प्लीज राइट इट इन द चैट if I should start the lecture right now and let's solve some questions. Okay, चलो स्टार्ट करो. All right, start. Okay, okay, okay. I'm not going to explain, Pratik. Actually, I have done the explanation part in the last two lectures, so please watch those lectures. Okay. And chat me, please tell me how many of you students are actually who actually attended the first and the second lecture, both of them, and are coming in this third lecture. बहुत ही बढ़िया, चलो बहुत ही बढ़िया. So the first question for today is diameter of a binary tree. Diameter of binary tree. It is a very, very good question. A simple but a problematic sort of question. Let me tell you, सर आपकी स्क्रीन छोटी क्यों दिख रही है? बिकॉज ये स्क्रीन बड़ी दिखेगी ना यार, जिस पे मैं लिख रहा हूँ यहाँ पे, लाइक ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स. यू शुड बी फोकस्ड ऑन दीज रादर देन माई फेस. सो या, ओके. सर इफ सर इज 150 LPA टू लो है? आई थिंक 15 LPA बोल रहे हो. 15 LPA इज अ डैम गुड पैकेज फॉर अ सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर. ओके, अभी पढ़ लो यार, अभी पैकेज ले लो पहले. ख्वाहिशें तो तुम सबकी 30-40 लाख की होती है, फिर थोड़ा जमीन पे आ जाते हो, 4-5 लाख की जॉब भी बहुत बढ़िया लगने लग जाती है एक समय पे. बट आई होप आप सबकी बढ़िया ही लगे. कोडिंग, राहुल प्लीज डोंट स्पैम. आई हैव नॉट येट शोन यू द कोडिंग स्क्रीन. if you guys are unable to see this diameter of a binary tree, please write me in the chat. And if you are able to see this particular screen, then it's absolutely fine. Okay, स्पैमर आ जाते हैं बहुत सारे. Chalo, yes, I have to ban these spammers as well. But anyways, let's come to the screen part and let me show you the problem. Okay. The problem is what? Diameter. Spelling भी गलत लिख रहा हूँ यार. Very bad. GfG. Okay, so the problem statement is something like this. Let me tell you on the GfG practice platform. I request everyone to just solve this particular problem on GfG practice platform. And after the lecture is completed, हिंदी नॉट अंडरस्टैंड. अरे बाला कृष्णा मेरे भाई, मैं तब से अंग्रेजी में ही तो बोल रहा हूँ यार. अब कौन सी लैंग्वेज सीख के आऊँ आपके लिए? तो प्लीज टेल मी द लैंग्वेज दैट आई नीड टू लर्न टू मेक यू गाइज अंडरस्टैंड. आज तो चिट्ट इंग्लिश बोल रहा हूँ, बिल्कुल बढ़िया वाली. हद हो रही है यार. No, I am speaking in English only. The entire question explanation and in fact everything, the summary, everything I told you in English only. This is just stupidity from your end. You can just leave the class, please. Okay. This is straight up frustrating job, yaar. Anyways, just see this lecture. Yes, 3 months may you can learn DSA. Please see the problem statement here. Yes, I need to chill. So basically, you are given a tree, you are given the root of the tree, and you have to return an int, right? You have to return the diameter of the tree. So what the diameter of the tree is, for example, this is the particular tree. So the diameter is the longest path from edges to edges. For example, this to this. Okay, let me show you actually what diameter means by drawing my own binary tree, because that is will give you a much better explanation. Okay, that will give you a much better explanation, right? For example, this is your tree. This is your tree. This is your binary tree, right? As you can see, the levels of the tree are three. Very important topic, levels of the tree. What diameter is, first of all, we need to understand what height of the tree is. Height was nothing, it was levels minus 1. I told you in the last class that height is this edges. So 1 plus 2, 2, right? Or maybe 1 plus 2, you can take it in this way as well. These are levels, this is height, right? So the diameter is actually 1, 2, 3. So basically, this triangle kind of shape, you have to इसको बैन करो ना यार. वासु श्रीवास्तव को नहीं लगेगी तेरी जॉब यार. ठीक है, कैसे बैन करते हैं यार इसको? इसको बैन कैसे करते हैं यार? हद कर रहा है यार ये तो. हद ही कर दी मतलब। गाइस प्लीज वेट, आई एम रियली सॉरी, आई एम रियली रियली सॉरी। ठीक है, क्या नाम है उसका, वासु श्रीवास्तव। अब इसको बैन कैसे करना है? भाई बैन का ऑप्शन नहीं आ रहा है यार। ठीक है, तो किसी से बात करते हैं। यार ये वासु श्रीवास्तव को बैन कर दो। ठीक है, करते रहो भाई, तुम चैट करते रहो, तुम भरते रहो, ठीक है। या नहीं, वो किक नहीं हो पा रहा था अनफॉर्चुनेटली। एनीवेज, सो कैन यू सी द दिस पर्टिकुलर बाइनरी ट्री? द diameter of this tree is actually 1 plus 2 plus 3. So diameter is something of a U kind of shape, an inverted U. You have to find a U kind of thing, right? That is diameter, that is diameter. But the thing is कि I will show you some examples which are kind of tricky. So please tell me, in this particular tree, I need to know what according to you will be the diameter of the binary tree. So what is the diameter over here? Can you tell me? Shashank is saying 5. A lot of people are saying 5 in fact. Okay, so let me check. Is it 5? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it is 5. But diameter is not something like I have to take from the extreme boundary. It is not necessarily that. Diameter is just that it is the number of edges adjacently together and together that can form some kind of path. Okay, let me repeat that again. Basically, this can also be your diameter of the binary tree. Can you see this? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This can also be the diameter of the binary tree. Okay, so it is not like you have to go to extremes. It is just that the path of some connected edges, the largest path is diameter of the binary tree. Now let's talk about the problems, right? It looks very simple. uh, Initially when I was solving the question, I thought that it is like it is a very stupid and simple question, right? So basically I made this formula that diameter is nothing but left height, left height plus right height, left height plus right height, right? Like this seems nice. Technically the left height is 1 2 3 and the right height is 1 2. But how can matlab it is kind of intuitive in this way that left and right height. But technically, how will you able to find how will you be able to find the left height and right height? Again, that is pretty simple. Basically, what you can do is, if this height is 3, clearly the number of levels of this tree is 4. What if I do something? I distribute this tree again into 3 parts, which I normally tell you, which is the root of the tree, the left subtree, and the right subtree. So what I can do is, I can calculate the number of levels over here, which are 3, which are 2. So if the levels are 3, the height is 2. If the levels are 2, the height is 1. And then I will add 2 more. Getting it? 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, total 5. What I can do is, uh, bec- uh, rather than finding out the height, because I told you in the last class that finding levels is a much better thing to do. I can do one thing, that I can actually find out the levels of left subtree, then add the levels of right subtree, then add 2 to it. 2 why? Because it is connecting to both of them. Fair enough. Fair enough. Right? Fair enough. Please tell me in the chats. +1 for connecting this, +1 for connecting this. Okay, but let me show you one example. Let me show you one example. Okay. If you, sir, what if, yes, Ajit is absolutely perfect. I will talk about Ajit's thing. Okay. Let me just come to the coding screen, the GfG platform, and let's solve this question first. Okay, with our formula, which is nothing but you have to return what? You have to directly return the levels of left subtree, right, plus the levels of right subtree. And what you can do is you can add two, right? Seems good. And what you can make is you can make a levels function. We already have made the levels function. It is quite simple. So if root is equal to null, the number of levels are 0. And then we have to just return what? Return what? Do you guys remember levels formula? Please tell me. The node that we are standing at, 1 plus math.max, if you guys remember, very, very important. Maximum of the numbers of levels of root dot left. In fact, इधर भी हमें यही लिखना है, ठीक है, comma root dot life. So maximum of both these things plus 1. Please tell me in the chats if I am doing something wrong. I'll reply afterwards. I am teaching currently. Really sorry. Okay, I'll take your doubts at the end of the class. Perfect. So let us check this code as well for the test cases. Let me eat something. बड़ी भूख लग रही है. Hmm. Your output is 4. Expected is 2. एक गलती हो गई हमसे. You didn't tell me. Okay. चलिए इधर आते हैं. No, not the base cases. वो तो देखेंगे ही. Firstly, एक जो चीज मैंने गलत की. I said left height, right height. But then what I did wrong is levels of left subtree, levels of right subtree, which are actually 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 5 plus 2, 7. So I did something wrong. Actually, the code is height, left height is what? Left height is this. Right height is what? It is levels of right subtree minus 1 plus 2. Now this plus 2 is specifically for the connections. Please understand. This plus 2 is for the connections for the left and right subtree, these edges. And then these heights can be calculated by levels minus 1, levels minus 1. Got it? Got it? So what I can do is minus minus plus and like, uh, it's done. It is done. But let me check if it works or not. It looks like a simple question. It looks like a simple question. So I'll do one thing. I will remove the plus 2 and then compile and run. Let us check. Hmm. 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 सबमिट करते हैं. Oh, so some test cases were submitted. In fact, 476 are correct, but the entire question is wrong. We will look the input as well, but before that, let us do some brainstorming. Okay, brainstorming is the most important thing that guys need to do. फिर आपको मजा आएगा. सर प्लीज एक्सप्लेन वन मोर टाइम. यार प्लीज ध्यान क्लास पे रखो यार, प्लीज एवरीवन. आई रिक्वेस्ट यू टू प्लीज लिसन टू मी. आई एम एक्सप्लेनिंग एवरीथिंग वेरी वेरी स्लोली, तो प्लीज लिसन टू मी केयरफुली. First of all, I told you what a diameter is. It is the longest path edge by edge. Longest path edge by edge in a binary tree. Right? Of course, you cannot do something like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not the number of edges. The path created by edges. So it can be this as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can be this as well. The answer is will remain 5. Now, what I did was I told you that in a tree, there is a root, there is a left subtree, there is a right subtree. So if we calculate the height of the left subtree plus the height of the right subtree, right height, plus we actually add 2. This was also there. Okay? We add 2, which are the connections of the root to these things. Then we can calculate the diameter. This is what we are thinking right now. So left subtree's height is levels minus 1, levels minus 1, right subtree also plus 2. So plus 2 was actually removed, minus minus plus, it cancelled out. So the levels of left subtree and right subtree will give me the answer. which are 3 plus 2. It is giving me the answer. Now for this particular tree, what are the levels of the left subtree? Left subtree is this. The levels are 2. What are the levels of right subtree? It is 1. So it is 1. So 2 plus 1 will be 3, and actually it is 3 only. So it is working. It is working. Our code is working. Levels of left plus levels of right. But let us do some brainstorming. Let us do some brainstorming and let us make a tree like a student was saying, ki, sir, do one thing. Do not create a left subtree or a right subtree, sorry, in this case. Yes, Arjun is also saying the same thing, ki do not create it. Now what? First of all, manually, let's check the diameter of the tree. It is the longest path. So it will be 2 or it will be 2. However you may like. Okay? So it is 2, right? But please listen to me. My formula was, my formula was levels of left subtree plus levels of राइट सब ट्री. इसको ना LST लिख देते हैं. लेवल्स लेफ्ट सब ट्री प्लस लेवल्स ऑफ राइट सब ट्री. प्लीज कैलकुलेट इट. इट इज levels of left subtree are 2, levels of right subtree are 0. 2 plus 0 is 2 and 2 is correct. What is the problem? 2 is correct. 2 is correct. Levels are coming out to be 2. I mean diameter is coming out to be 2. ये देख लो 2 plus 0 यहाँ पे 2 ही आ रहा है, which is correct. Okay, please understand. You guys have not yet told me the perfect answer. This is wrong. I am not saying my code is right. It cannot be this simple. कि we are calculating the levels of left and right and we are adding them. Right? -1 का क्या हुआ? अरे मेरी जान, तुम पढ़ते ही नहीं हो यार. तुम पढ़ ही नहीं रहे हो. अब मैं क्या करूं फिर? तुम मेरी बात सुन नहीं रहे हो ना. यू आर नॉट लिसनिंग टू मी गाइस. बीच में आ जाते हो, टपक जाते हो लाइव सेशन में. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड ना. लेफ्ट सब ट्री इज हाइट प्लस लाइट सब ट्री इज हाइट प्लस 2. 2 2 गधो 2. ये कनेक्शन हो रही है 2. द हाइट ऑफ लेफ्ट सब ट्री 2. दिस 1. टोटल कितना हुआ 5. तो यहाँ पे +2 था. और फिर लेफ्ट हाइट इज लेवल्स -1. आई हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड दिस इन लास्ट क्लास. नहीं आता छोड़ के चले जाओ ये क्लास. प्लीज लास्ट क्लास को देखो यार. आई एम सॉरी, आई एम रूड, बट यू हैव मिस द लास्ट क्लास. You have to talk about levels and the height connection. I've already taught it. बार बार मैं नहीं पढ़ाऊंगा आपको. दूसरा, levels of RST -1. This minus and 2 will get cancelled. It is 6th class की maths. Okay. Anyways, आगे बढ़ते हैं. So the thing is, a lot of students were saying, what if there is no right subtree? It's absolutely fine. Even in this case, even in that case, my code, which was just this, it is working. Even if you try to create a right subtree and no left subtree, it will work. Then sir, what is the problem? It is RST, it's not null, not 0. No, right subtree is null na. So the level of RST -1 -2, this would be like level, हाँ तो 0. वही साहिल, वही कह रहा हूँ मैं. 0 is getting cancelled guys. What the hell are you doing? ये कैंसिल हो गया ना यार. ये दिख नहीं रहा आपको? -+2. बेसिक 10th क्लास की मैथ्स नहीं आती आपको? क्या कर रहे हो? ठीक है. तो डायमीटर का फॉर्मूला इज दिस. आई रिमूव द +2 थिंग. इट इज वर्किंग फॉर दिस कोड. व्हाट आई वांट यू गाइस टू डू इज टेक अ पेन एंड पेपर एंड प्लीज गाइस टेल मी. 30 बच्चे तो खुंदस में चले गए यहाँ से, बट एनीवेज प्लीज गाइस टेल मी an exception in which my code is not working. I need to know the exception. What if left childs have more depth than root right? Maybe. Chopra is saying single node. Okay, a good exception maybe. तो चोपड़ा की बात सुनते हैं. So for example, this is a tree. Left and right are null. This is a single tree with some value 10, for example. So what are the levels of the left subtree? 0. The levels of the right subtree? 0. The total diameter? 0. And the diameter is 0. There is no path. Actually, even though if it is null and null, this is not considered to be diameter, my friend. This is not considered to be diameter. So the diameter is 0 and my formula is working. My formula is working. भाई अगर ट्री ही ना हो, ओके, तने की बात भी सुन लेते हैं. ये किसका था? ये चोपड़ा का एग्जाम्पल था. अच्छी बात है. मैं चाहता हूँ सोचो, आप सोचो. बहुत अच्छा कह रहे हो. जैसे तने ने बोला ट्री ही ना हो, मतलब नल, मतलब रूट इज नल, बेसिकली द रूट इज नल। सो अगेन द आंसर विल बी जीरो, बिकॉज नल का कोई लेफ्ट नहीं है, नल का कोई राइट नहीं है। राइट, आंसर हमें जीरो ही देना है। एक केस हम जरूर ऐड कर देंगे, बिकॉज तने सेड अ राइट थिंग। प्लीज गाइज इधर देखिए, सी हेयर, basically I am doing root dot left and root dot right. If root is null, null dot left is nothing, it will give error. Null dot right also gives error. So you can make a base case over here that if root equal to null, you return zero. Okay, because in that case even it is zero. But again, it, if I submit the code, it is not something ki it will pass all the cases. It won't. Okay, it won't, as you can see. It is not solving the problem. It is important maybe. And also you have to check the constraints. The number of nodes, tane, is one, minimum one, so it is not important. Okay, root cannot be null, it is given to you. But anyways, that was a good thinking. सोचना तो चाहिए आपको. Sir, what if the longest path does not pass to the root? Yes, सत्यम, सत्यम को शाउट आउट देते हैं. चलो, now let me show you a diagram, a खूबसूरत beautiful diagram. Okay, what Satyam said is something like this. A very, very important observation. In all of the codes, actually my diameter was passing through the root node. And obviously, if you want to, if you want to find the maximum path in a U shape, generally our thinking is something like ki if the root is at the very top, so obviously the maximum path should pass through the root. Here also the maximum path should pass through the root. Maybe the maximum path is this, but again it is passing through the root. Here also pass through the root, right? But actually I can make a diagram and show you a very beautiful thing. For example, this is left, this is right, this is left, this is right. Okay, both of them are there. But what if I do something like this? What if I do something like this? This is a binary tree, by the way. This has absolutely no problem being a binary tree. This is a binary tree. And then I made something like this. And then I made something like this. Okay. Is this a binary tree? It is a binary tree, 100%. What is the diameter? If I say that now if I do something like this, ki number, the levels in the left subtree, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the levels in the right subtree, which is 1. So you guys might think the diameter is 6, right? No, it is not. Thala कह रहे हैं बच्चे. The diameter is 7. How is the diameter 7? Actually, I am taking, if I take this diagram, if I take this diameter, sorry, not diagram, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, getting it? It is not passing through the root. It is actually passing through this node. Okay, the entire diameter is in the left subtree itself, not just the root node. मजा आ गया? Chat में please write if this was a fantastic test case for you guys. Okay. Because again, of course, as a normal student, I would also think कि the path has to pass through the topmost point. तभी तो सबसे बड़ा path बनेगा, right? Right. We will not consider right side node. No, beta, we would not consider, because again, if I tell you that the root is, it has to be passed through the root node, then something like this will be the case. The diameter is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The path is 6 units. But I showed you a better path. I showed you a longer path. Please understand. It can be this as well, in fact. Okay, we have to find the maximum path. Is this a path? Is this a path? Yes, it is. It is a path. But so is this. This is also a path. This is also a path. just this is also a path. We have to find the maximum path. ठीक है, we have to find the maximum path. So अब इसको करेंगे कैसे फिर यार, इस चीज को करेंगे कैसे? How will we able to do this particular thing? ठीक है, चोपड़ा इज सेइंग मैथ पाथ ऑफ एलएसटी प्लस मैथ पाथ ऑफ आरएसटी। नहीं चोपड़ा, यू आर रॉन्ग, यू आर रॉन्ग एक्चुअली। दैट इज नॉट अ पाथ ना, दैट इज नॉट अ पाथ, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड। आप इसको, यू कैन नॉट ऐड दिस एंड द 7, इट विल बिकम 8, 7 plus 1 8, which is wrong. Path is continuous path. It is not something like, okay, I made this path and then I added this also. नहीं 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 नहीं, this is not how things work. You cannot do something like this. Okay, in this case 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 बन जाएगा। No no, you cannot do it. This should be continuous. So yes, Aravind is absolutely perfect. Consider each node as root. Basically what we will do is कि for every node we will calculate its path. Its path means, for example, what we will do in this particular question, firstly we are standing over here, ठीक है, we will calculate the maximum path passing through this node, the maximum path passing through this node, which was this 1 2 3 4 5 6, which is simple, levels of left plus levels of right for this node. So the first diameter that came actually will be what? It came out to be 6. Then we do it for every single node. Then we do it for this particular node. We found out, okay, if we consider this particular tree, only this tree, not this, then the levels of left subtree are what? 1, 2, 3, 4. The levels of right subtree are 1, 2, 3. Again, the path is 7. So we will update whenever we get a larger value, and we will keep a global, we can keep a global variable. Are you guys getting it? So we have to use recursion in recursion. The time complexity is pathetic of the easier method. Please tell me in the chats if this was absolutely crystal clear to you guys. Okay, this test case was important. Yes, global variable is technically not the best of the practices that you actually do. So let me have my munchies. Hmm. Hmm. Let me go to the coding screen now. Firstly, let us talk about the logic. For every node, I will calculate the levels. So that level will be actually, if we can make a global variable, and we can change that as well. Uh, uh, we can use in C++, definitely we can use a variable which is, we can pass by reference variable. Hmm. The time complexity will be pathetic because for the levels code, I am actually doing what? I am applying recursion. So the problem in this code is, I will tell you the problem. For this node, I calculate left. Sorry, I calculate the levels of the left subtree via recursion. ठीक है, तो big O of n time complexity. The right subtree big O of n time complexity. But again, when I went here, I do a repeated work. Levels of this, levels of this. So there is a way, if you know dynamic programming, you will be able to do things. Okay, that we will learn in DP. That will be we will learn in DP memorize, right? No, global variable do not take is not taking a lot of memory. Okay, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है मन. It is just that it is not a good practice. But ऐसा नहीं है कि it is taking memory. ऐसा नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है. So not like that. Okay, it takes but it does not take so much. इधर आ जाता है यार. Hmm. Okay, so let me come to this code. This is the code that we will be using, the levels code. Now, instead of just returning the levels of left plus right of this root, we will actually compute this thing for everything. For literally every single node of the tree, we can apply a pre-order or in order or post order to traverse the entire tree. And for every node, we will calculate the this particular thing and then update it. So let me do one thing. Let me make a global variable named, we use a static in Java. So static int mx, yeah, static int mx dia. So what mx dia means, yeah, max dia is the max diameter. We are calculating a lot of diameters. The max path is the diameter actually. Okay, we will initialize it to 0. And what we will do is we will actually make a pre-order function, bacho. We will make a pre-order, just a void function, nothing else. A void function actually works. Okay, we'll make a void pre-order function which actually just does one thing. It traverses. So what we do in pre-order, we do work, then left, and then right. We do work and then call left and then call right. Simple. And there is a base case as well. This is to traverse the entire tree. Please remember, we are traversing the entire tree, and for the entire tree we will do this. ठीक है, अभी करेंगे इसको, एक सेकंड रुक जाइए. We have the base case. If root is equal to null, then we will simply return, we will do nothing. Now the work, we are not printing here. We can do any sort of work, printing, calculating. I told you in the first and second class also कि अगर maximum भी निकालना है तो भी इससे कर सकते हैं. So what we will do is we will calculate the dia. What is dia? It will be the diameter of the particular node, the path passing, the maximum path passing through that node, which is nothing but this, which is nothing but this. Okay, this is absolutely correct. For this root, we will calculate the diameter, and then what we will do is max dia is equal to, we will update it. We will update it. It will be math.max current max dia and diameter. That's it. That is all you have to do. You just have to return now the max diameter, and also after initializing it to 0, you just have to call the function once. So here the code will start from here. What I'm doing is I'm calling the pre-order function which visits every single node of the tree, and for every single node of the tree I am calculating the diameter and updating the max. That's it. I'm doing nothing else. Rest all it is the visiting part. Okay, so let us compile and run now. No, why are we printing? We do not need to print, Pooja. तभी तो मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ. We do not need to print it. Okay, let us see. Okay. 5. So this is known as a runtime error. Basically, this is a time limit exceeded error. Okay. What happened is the code is perfect. It's not wrong, but it is a very bad code. Why? Because I already told you in the diagram that for the levels code, I am actually doing a lot of repetitive work. I am actually doing a lot of repetitive work. That was the problem, right? That was the problem. Now, there are two methods to solve this question. First is actually memoization, which if you guys know dynamic programming, then only you will be able to do it. Shashank Sharma, it is DFS only. But anyways, the second way is very interesting. While doing the pre-order traversal or while finding out the levels of the tree, we can actually do a lot of things. We can actually do a lot of things. Okay, I'll show you what I am actually trying to tell you. Okay, इधर आ जाते हैं थोड़ा सा. इधर आ जाते हैं. हम्म. The current code has a time complexity, or it is exponential time complexity. It is very hard to find because it can be easily found out actually. For every node, I'm taking n. So for all n nodes, not exactly n. For example, it is a balanced binary tree. For this, I have n. Now for this, I will be doing n plus 2 computations. Let me take the worst possible tree. Yeah, the time complexity is big O of n square, not exponential. It will be n square. Okay. The time complexity will be, class end will be 9:30 today. थोड़ा जल्दी हो रहा है, 9:35, 9:30 around that. Okay. The time complexity will be n square, and let me explain why. Because actually what I'm doing is I'm visiting every single node of the tree. Please remember. So for example, there are total n number of nodes. I'm visiting all nodes. Now for each node, I'm calculating its left and right levels, which also takes n time. So n into n will be n square. Okay, getting it? In the worst possible case. Yes, you will get the recorded videos, Abdur. I have told this 1 million times that in Geeks for Geeks YouTube channel, that in Geeks for Geeks YouTube channel of 1 million subscriber, go to live section, binary trees, 2 more videos you will see with my face. ठीक है? थोड़ा सा यार इंटेलिजेंट बन जाओ, थोड़ा सा YouTube चलाना सीख जाओ. Okay, you do not have to mark attendance or all. Yes, Sharad is absolutely perfect currently. Please let me tell even the code now. Okay. So what we can do is, the problem was that, okay, we are applying the pre-order as well. And for every node, we are calculating the levels function, right? Which is in itself recursion. So instead of actually calculating the pre-order, and in that we are calculating levels every single time, what we can do is we can just plain out, just call a levels function. Just call a levels function. We can run the levels function. It can be an integer return type. It does not matter. What I'm trying to do is, because the levels function was a recursive code in nature. So for example, this is the tree. I will copy and paste it. Okay. What I'm trying to tell you is, the problem in levels code or the problem in pre-order or whatever, ठीक है, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग वेरी केयरफुली. अरे क्या हो रहा है यार, पेस्ट भी नहीं हो सकता क्या अब यहाँ पे? कुछ चीज़ें कॉपी भी नहीं होती है क्या यहाँ से? हो गई है, चलो करते हैं पेस्ट. ठीक है. नाउ प्लीज रिमेंबर, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दिस थिंग वेरी केयरफुली. एक बार बताऊंगा मैं इसको बड़े प्यार से, 2-3 बार भी बता सकता हूँ. प्लीज जस्ट फोकस ऑन द स्क्रीन राइट नाउ. What I will do is, if I want to calculate the levels of the entire tree, I call what? Levels of root. If this is root, I call levels of root. And what it does in recursion is something like that. The levels of root are 1 plus max of levels of, for example, the entire tree is equal to 1 plus max of levels of left subtree, right, comma levels of right subtree. Now please remember, please just understand, sorry, this thing, कि whenever we are calculating the levels of the entire tree, do you guys are with me? And क्या आप इस बात को मानते हो? Do you guys resonate with me that, okay, if I calculate the levels of this tree, the time complexity is big O of n, right? Just to calculate the levels in that levels code, the time complexity is big O of n, right? And when I do 1 plus max of this, actually I'm calling these two functions. So one function is calling itself two times. A function is calling itself two times. Okay, I call levels left, I call levels right. And then when I want to calculate, for example, levels left and levels right was 1. In levels left, what I did, I again called recursion. To calculate the levels of this subtree, I need recursion. So what it did was, it calculate its left subtree's level and its left right subtree's level, 1 2 3 1 2 3 4, and then added them and added 1. So 4 plus 3 7 plus 1 8. ठीक है. Sorry, maximum लेता है उसका. 4 and 3 में से maximum is 4 plus 1 5 which is the levels of left subtree, right? ऐसे चलता है ये, and then recursively it works. Please understand the working, internal working of only the levels code, only the levels code. Now what we can do, because at any given point of time, at any given point of time in the levels recursive code, specifically at the top, we are actually computing the levels of the left subtree and the levels of the right subtree. Are you guys with me? We are actually computing the levels of left subtree and right subtree and taking the maximum of it, but we are computing both of them. We are computing both of them. Now tell me, here only, whenever I am at this point and I'm calculating the levels of this, I can also calculate the maximum diameter which passes through this by adding these two things and storing somewhere. And I can do it for every single one of them. अब मैं आपको कोड करके दिखाऊंगा. I will show you the code and you guys will uh, be excited to see the code. What I'm saying is, will I keep this global variable? Yes, I will. I'm saying I do not need a pre-order. Why? Because whenever I call levels, the root levels, I actually visit every single node. I actually visit every single node. What I will do over here is something like this. Yes, I'll initialize it to 0. I won't call the pre-order function. I will call the levels function. And by the way, guys, I know that the levels function is not a void function. It is actually holding a value, but I'm saying it does not matter. Even if I call it like this and do not print the levels, it does not matter. I can call it. I can still call it. When I call the levels function, please tell me. When I call the levels function, what happens is this works. Let me just not change the code a bit. Can you not write it like this? Int left levels, int left levels is equal to this. I think in the last class, I actually showed you. In the last class, I actually showed you a way of writing the code. ये थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा, this is cleaner. Okay. Again, if I do something like this, are you guys with me? And do you guys understand that I actually did nothing? Is it not the same thing? It is the same thing. Please tell me in the chat. I actually did nothing. I just gave them the calls, two names, and I just again did the maximum thing. It is the same thing, right? Yeah. अब आपको मजा आएगा. Please understand. When I call levels of root, again, please listen to me. When I call levels of root, am I not visiting the entire tree? I am. Levels are calculated for the root node, then left, right, then its left, its right. I am visiting all nodes. And actually, one confirmation of this is if you actually print the roots value over here, every node will be printed. ठीक है, क्योंकि again, if one function is calling two other functions with our its left and right child, entire tree will be printed. Okay, I am visiting the entire tree. So before returning, what I am saying is, before returning, I will do something very interesting. I will do something very interesting. I will calculate a diameter over here. I will calculate a diameter over here. Arey bhai sahab. And now I will do something like this. Herein I'll already do this. Okay, idhar ki idhar. Are you guys with me? What I did is I just added two lines. That's it. अगर मैं इसको हटाऊं, this is just a levels code, nothing else. I added these two lines. Now the time complexity is just big O of n, nothing else. And it will work. It will get submitted. Perfect. Please tell me in the chats if it was clear to you and if मजे आ गए हो आपको थोड़े से तो बताइए. तो परिचय एक्चुअली लेट मी री एक्सप्लेन यू, ठीक है, लेट मी री एक्सप्लेन टू यू गाइस व्हाट आई एम डूइंग ओवर हियर, व्हाट आई एम एक्चुअली डूइंग ओवर हियर। आई कॉल्ड द लेवल्स फंक्शन, प्लीज यहाँ कोड पे देखो, दिमाग चैट पे मत लगाओ। First of all, I made a global variable static int max diameter, which will store the answer. Okay, I initialized it to 0. I called the levels function. Now the levels function is something like this. Levels function ये आपको समझ आना चाहिए, अगर ये भी नहीं आया तो मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता फिर। ये लास्ट क्लास में आई हैव मेड यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस इज द लेवल्स थिंग। In the levels code now, the thing is, whenever I want to calculate the level of a particular subtree or a tree, it is calculated by 1 plus the maximum of left and right. That concept you should know. Please watch the last class. Okay, last to last class. Now, what I was saying is, because I'm actually calling this function, I have these two levels. I'm taking the maximum, but I have these two levels. So use them na. I am visiting every node. So for every node, I am calculating its left and right levels, right? And I'm returning 1 plus math dot max. But before returning, do one thing na. Before returning, do one thing. Just calculate their sum as well, which will give us the path through that node and update it in the global variable. Update it in the global variable. Please remember, not a local, not here a variable, which is a parameter, a global variable. Keep on updating it. Okay, instead of this dia, actually you can write one line as well. It is a one-liner thing that you can do this as well. ये तो आपकी समझने के लिए मैंने किया था, ताकि आप बच्चों को समझ अच्छे से आए. You can just remove this thing. I added one line. This is the line that I added, beta. That's it. ठीक है, before returning. Sorry to interrupt. Can you please brief again why n square time complexity in the pre-order code? So what Pranjal, what was happening was I was actually calling the pre-order function. Pre-order visits every single node. How many nodes are there in total? N number of nodes. So for every node, the work was not linear. When I visit every single node, I was actually calculating the levels for that node. I was actually calculating the levels for that node. And for that levels itself, it takes n time. ठीक है? So for the root, it takes n time. For another node, it will take n. So for all the n nodes, it takes n time. So n square. It is not exactly n square, बेटा. थोड़ा सा उससे कम है. ठीक है? But roughly. Okay, roughly. अगर आप एक स्क्यूड ट्री बनाओगे जिसमें से लेफ्ट 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 या फिर राइट 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 या फिर लेफ्ट राइट ऐसे ऐसे चलता है, तो यू विल अंडरस्टैंड इट. कैन वी डू इट विदाउट ग्लोबल वेरिएबल? यस, टेक्निकली यस. यू कैन मेक अ रेफरेंस वेरिएबल इन सी प्लस प्लस. यहाँ पे आप एक रेफरेंस वेरिएबल बना सकते हो. एंड इन जावा यू कैन मेक अ वन साइज एरे. ठीक है, या कैन यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस कोड? वेरी वेरी सिंपल कोड यार, कितना सिंपल कोड है. Okay. Do we really need of return type int? Yes, Tushar, we need the return type int. You are not getting it why I am taking the return type int. Because please understand ना यार, अगर ये void होगा, अगर ये void हुआ, मान लो levels, तो बेटा ये भी void होगा, this will also be void. तो void को कैसे स्टोर करोगे तुम int में? है ना, वो अमाउंट तुम्हें चाहिए. You need that amount. You need int. You need that value of levels of every single level. Okay, so you need int. Here the time complexity is big O of n because I am only visiting every single node. ठीक है, calling the levels, but again at the end I am visiting all nodes. That too once, वो अपने आप काम हो रहा है. Okay. So this is the thing. अब बात करते हैं हम. Let's talk about the next question, which is balanced binary tree or not. Balanced binary tree. So there is a question. Let me अपने आप GfG आ रहा है अब. ओके, सीखेंगे बीएफएस, सीखेंगे अर्शद. So, what is a balanced binary tree? Let me tell you, this is another question. This is a very similar question to the diameter question. Please remember, उसी तरीके से आपको मैं बताऊंगा. ठीक है, can't be simply return one. अरे नहीं यार मिशकत, तुम कैसी बात कर रहे हो यार, तुम क्वेश्चन ही नहीं समझे. We need the levels ना, we need the levels. You are not understanding the problem. You are not understanding the problem actually. हम सिर्फ क्यों वन रिटर्न करेंगे. अब अगर मैं ये पूरा निकाल रहा हूँ लेवल्स, तो ये मुझे चाहिए. अब आप कह रहे हो कि अगर मैं यहाँ रिटर्न वन कर दूंगा, इफ आई रिटर्न वन, देन आई एम रिटर्निंग वन फॉर एवरी रूट, फॉर एवरी नोड. ठीक है, विच इज गोइंग थ्रू द लेवल्स फंक्शन. तो ये भी वन हो जाएगा, ये भी वन हो जाएगा, तो ये तो टू हो गया फॉर एवरी सिंगल थिंग. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड. समझे मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ? आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से? You cannot return simply one, and there is no point of returning it as well. Okay, you need the levels. You need the levels. I know it is a bit confusing because in the main function, I am just calling it like it is a void function, right? नहीं, मैं राघव ही हूँ. अभिषेक, I am Raghav only. My name is Raghav only. Okay. So given a binary tree in this question, this is an interesting question as well. You are given a binary tree. Determine if it is height balanced. A binary tree is considered height balanced if the absolute difference in the height of the left and right subtrees is at most one for every node of the tree. Okay. So balance, of course, if ever you talk about a balanced structure, right? Balanced structure, what you actually think of a balanced thing, like it is balanced from the left and the right. Let me show you some diagrams and let me show you some wrong diagrams, ताकि आपको चीजें समझ आए. ठीक है, let me make some diagrams. Thank you Abhishek, thanks a lot. For example, if I don't tell you the definition of balanced binary tree and I make two trees in front of you, this is tree number one. Okay, then I make a tree like this. Okay, I make a tree like this. Which of these looks balanced? Left or right? Of course, left. Like this one looks much more balanced, and this is not that balanced of a tree, right? But now, if I talk about the definition that Geeks for Geeks and in general, what a balanced binary tree means, it is not like कि it has to be a perfect binary tree. Like this is a perfect binary tree. ठीक है, एक के दो, दो के चार, बिल्कुल perfect. This is a perfect thing. A balanced thing can be like this as well. So for example, if you have this tree, if you have this tree is also a balanced binary tree. ये दोनों balanced है. Okay, so this is also balanced, this is also balanced. Of course, it looks more balanced than this, but this is also a balanced binary tree. So what is the definition of a balanced binary tree? Let me tell you. The definition is, for example, I am at this particular node. Let me do the question for you. Go at this node. For example, I am at this node. Okay. So for this node, calculate the number of levels of the left and levels of right. If the difference between the levels or the height, whatever it is, if difference between levels is at most one, मतलब ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा एक ही difference हो, तो it is balanced. As you can see, left levels are 2, right levels are 1, or left height is 1, right height is 0. एक ही बात है, the difference will be 1. So the levels are 2, levels are 1, the difference is 1 only. So it is balanced, but balanced only for this node. You have to check it for every single. Now, for example, come to this node. For this node as well, this as a tree, consider this as a tree, forget about the other things. The number of levels of left is 1, right levels are also 1. The difference between them is 0, which is less than 1. So it is balanced. And obviously, all the leaf nodes, the leaf node is balanced because null and null, these are balanced in themselves. So this entire tree becomes balanced. This entire tree becomes balanced. It will be similar to the previous question. I will tell you how. Okay, having two childs or null, yes. No, even having one child, Keshav, If this is a tree, please do not get confused. This is a balanced binary tree. This is a balanced binary tree. Why? For this root, the left levels are 1. The right levels are 0. The difference between them is 1. 1 is allowed. The absolute difference between 1 is absolutely allowed. Just give me 1 second, guys. 9:30 तक तो बोला ही है उन्होंने. 15 मिनट रुक जाओ, देख लो, खत्म कर दूंगा जल्दी से. थैंक यू. ठीक है. Okay, so are you guys getting it? Now let me tell you a wrong example because that is necessary. Okay, wrong example की जरूरत होती है. Please look at this particular tree. Please look at this particular tree. Is this a balanced binary tree or not? Please tell me in the chats. And तुक्का नहीं मारना है. Hmm. Some students are saying balanced. Ritik, you are wrong. Agam, you are wrong. Abdul, you are wrong. Himanshu is correct. All the people who are saying yes, you are wrong. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. अब यहाँ पे प्लीज ध्यान से देखना. This is not a balanced binary tree. How you check for balanced binary tree is something like this. Again, firstly, you check for this. ठीक है? You check for every node. So I am currently standing at this node. What I do is I calculate the number of levels of left and number of levels of right. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. They are equal. 3 minus 3 is 0. Their difference is 0. Their difference can be 0 and 1. So सही है. It is balanced with respect to this node. Now what you have to do is you have to check for every node. You come over here. You come over here. In this tree means please ये देखिए, इन सबको इग्नोर कीजिए. Okay, for this particular tree the number of levels of left are 2 and the number of levels of right are 0. 2 minus 0 is 2, which is greater than 1, so it is not balanced. Okay, if it was something like this, students, then from its perspective, it would have been balanced. But again, this entire tree is still unbalanced. Okay, why? Let me tell you again. Again, देखो. Let's talk about this particular tree. This tree. It is still unbalanced. Why? You check for every single node. Firstly, the root node. Calculate the number of levels in left. Left subtree has 3 levels. Right subtree has 3 levels. Their difference is 3 minus 3 is equal to 0. If the difference is 0 or the maximum difference is 1, it's absolutely fine. It is balanced from its perspective. Now we have to check it for every node. For this node, let me check. The number of levels of right are 1. Left are 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. Again, it works. It is balanced. Then check for this node. All nodes we have to check. The number of levels of क्या कहते हैं, left are 1, right are 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. It works. This is a leaf node. It is balanced. This is a leaf node. It is balanced in itself. Single size tree. Now let me क्या कहते हैं, check for this node. Here, the left levels are 0. The right levels are 2. So 2 minus 0 is greater than 1. 2 is greater than 1. So this tree is unbalanced. Please tell me in the chat if you guys are able to understand. Tell me in the chats. Okay. So अब हो जाएगा कोड आपसे. आपको सिर्फ रूट नोड के लिए चेक नहीं करना है. फॉर एवरी सिंगल नोड यू हैव टू check and return a true or a false in that perspective. Okay. Okay. Again, we will use two methods. One is a long method. ठीक है, the first method is a long method. The first approach is to visit all nodes, and for all nodes I will calculate the left and right levels and calculate the absolute difference. In that I will again and again call levels function. which is a bad way of doing things. Let me do that bad way as well. The method number one is to go to every single node to calculate the absolute difference for every single node of left and right and check if anything is coming out greater than 1, then you will return false. Okay. So the brute force again, we will make a global variable only. So Boolean flag maybe. Okay. Static Boolean flag. Initially what we will do is we will set it to false. False means that, true means, sorry, true. True means the tree is balanced. So initially I'm saying the tree is balanced. I'm looking for a false thing. Now again, what I will do is I will call a pre-order or in order or whatever, like visit function. I'm just visiting all nodes. Okay, I'm doing it in pre-order sense. You can do it whatever you like. Okay, so public, this is void. I'll make a pre-order function. I'll pass a node root. Now we know that how pre-order works. It is left, it is right. And before that, we do our work. If root is null, we do return. And here we do the work. Okay. This is the normal pre-order function. Everyone knows what a pre-order is right now. I'm visiting all nodes, and for all nodes, what I will do is I will actually check if the particular node is balanced or not. Okay. The work is to check if the nodes are balanced or not. How will we check if the nodes are balanced or not? By calculating the levels of left subtree and the levels of right subtree. Okay. So we will make a function int difference in levels, which is levels of root dot the left subtree. Okay, copy, then इधर आ जाते हैं यार, root dot right. इन दोनों का we have to take the difference. If the difference is greater than 1, it can be 0 or 1. If it is greater than 1, then we will return false, not return. We have to do everything. We'll actually do one thing. We will just set the flag to false. That's it. That is it. These two lines are the things that we need to do. Okay. And obviously we need to make the अब level वाला भी तो बनाना ही पड़ेगा ना function यार. We need to make public int levels. If root is null, return 0. And levels में हम क्या return करते हैं? हम return करते हैं levels में return 1 plus levels of root dot left, comma, यहाँ ले लेंगे बाहर math dot max. ओके. सो अब ये बातें हम सबको पता होनी चाहिए यार, ये जो मैं कर रहा हूँ. ठीक है, ये तो सिंपल ही है, हटाओ इसको. तो ये तो लेवल्स, दिस इज द कोड फॉर लेवल्स, वी नो ऑलरेडी दिस. ठीक है. तो व्हाट वी आर डूइंग इज डिफरेंस इज दिस. आई एम रियली सॉरी. माइनस, यस यस, देख रहा हूँ. सॉरी सॉरी सॉरी. ओके, अच्छी बात है. यू गाइज आर एक्चुअली सीइंग द लेक्चर. दैट इज वेरी नाइस, वेरी गुड ऑफ यू गाइज. ओके, सो द डिफरेंस इज the difference, but yes, Ashish is correct. What if this is 0 and what if this is 1? That will then it will come out to be -1. Okay, so we have to take the absolute value of this. This can be negative as well. That is why it said that absolute difference. We do not know ना कि लेफ्ट लेवल ज्यादा होगी, राइट लेवल ज्यादा होगी. अभी हमें कुछ पता ही नहीं है. हम ये भी एक काम कर सकते हैं इससे पहले कि इफ डिफरेंस इज नेगेटिव, difference is equal to minus difference. So you can do this thing as well. If the difference came out to be negative, make it positive. This also works. Or a better way of doing it is by using the inbuilt function, which is math.abs in Java. It is abs in C++. It is something something in Python. So you can do this thing as well. If you do not know the function, then whatever I did was correct as well. So again, I calculate the difference. If it is greater than 1, flag false. And at the end, here I will return flag. Please remember, I am actually only returning the flag thing. The pre-order thing makes sure that I visit every single node. I calculate the difference for every single node. If the difference is 1, the flag is false. And if it never hits, the initially the flag was true, it will return true. Okay, let me run the code. और चैतन्य द लेक्चर्स और मतलब पिछले लेक्चर की रिकॉर्डिंग आपको मिल जाएगी गीक्स फॉर गीक्स यूट्यूब चैनल पे, वहाँ पे लाइव सेक्शन में. So again, can you guys tell me what will happen if I submit the code? Will it run or not? Can you guys tell me? Yes, error कह रहे हैं. The time complexity is very high. There is a chance that TLE error will be there. It is not necessary. Maybe it runs all cases. Okay, it ran fine. But again, this is not the best of solutions. Yes, it is not the best of solutions. Absolutely. It is a bad solution. It actually होता क्या है कि whenever you are actually running any problem, you're submitting on online platforms, it depends a clock, a timer runs basically. Okay. So for some questions, it is a big time given to you. You can actually do it. But anyways, let me solve it by the last previous approach, using the previous approach. Again, the problem in this code is I'm visiting all nodes, but actually for all nodes, I am calling levels as well. For all nodes, I am calling levels as well. So let's do the previous thing in which in levels, what we do is we did left levels, which was this. We cut it over here, we pasted here, we made right levels, we cut it over here, we actually paste it over here. अभी तक तो मैंने कोई चीज़ डिफरेंस की ही नहीं है बेटा. कॉपी एंड paste. Okay, so again what we can do is, because in the pre-order thing we are essentially visiting all nodes, and what we want in this question is we want the absolute difference for every single node of its left and right subtree levels, right? That is the case. So we can do it in the levels function as well. What we need to do is, before I return this statement, we have calculated the left and right levels. So let us do what we wanted to do. We only wanted to do these two lines, right? So we can calculate these here. Calculate the difference first. If difference is this, mark it for false and do your work. Do your work as it is. I'll make a gap between. This was the as it is work that you were doing. You just added these two lines. That's it. Now you do not need the pre-order function at all. And what you can do is just call the levels function. Okay. कितना परफेक्ट नहीं हो गया यार ये. लो थोड़ा गैप हटा ही देते हैं. अब now let me run the code again. The time complexity of this code is big of n. सर रिप्लेस नहीं किया लेफ्ट लेवल्स को. Okay, maybe I did something wrong. लेफ्ट राइट. अच्छा अच्छा. देखो गलती क्या हो गई, कोई बताएगा मेरे को? एनीवन इन द चैट, प्लीज टेल मी व्हाट आई डिड, व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम इन दिस कोड. टेल मी इन द चैट्स प्लीज, आई वांट टू नो. अरे नहीं यार, डिफरेंस लेस देन वन नहीं. डिफरेंस वन से बड़ा होता है तो फ्लैग फॉल्स है, वरना तो वो ट्रू है. यस, अरशद इज करेक्ट. अरशद इज करेक्ट. Firstly, I called left and right function in left levels, right levels. If I have them stored here, why am I calling them again? So these are redundant calls. These are known as redundant calls. I do not need to, the entire point was to not call the things again and again. So just use these things. Okay, let me submit the code. Now it should work. Obviously, it should work. You can do right levels minus left levels as well. It is the same thing. Okay. Okay. So did you guys understand the levels thing? Hmm. 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 अब लेट मी टॉक टू यू गाइस। तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, अगर आप 3 दिन से मुझसे पढ़ रहे हो, इफ यू आर स्टडिंग फ्रॉम मी फ्रॉम 3 days, थैंक यू वेरी मच। इट मीन्स अ लॉट, इवन दो इट वॉज अ फ्री सेशन, बट अगेन आई एम गेटिंग पेड फ्रॉम गीक फॉर गीक्स एनीवेज। ठीक है, दे आर गिविंग मी सैलरी, बट थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर अटेंडिंग द सेशन, फॉर अटेंडिंग the session. Today's session is smaller than yesterday's and day before yesterday's sessions, which were 2.5 hours each. This is a small session, right? And unfortunately, in 2 3 minutes, in 5 minutes, I have to end this class. So that was the last question that I did for today. Okay, yes, I was very slow in these sessions, but I understood that you guys are doing trees for the very first time. इसके बाद if you ever study trees, then you will be able to study it in a faster pace, right? So that your time also gets saved. So thank you so much for understanding me. Thank you so much for studying from me, from these free sessions. ठीक है? Again, for any sort of doubts, you can individually connect to me at Instagram @geeky Raghav. And also, I did not made up this username because I am at Geeks for Geeks. It was my username way before. ठीक है, I copied Geeky Ranjit, who is a tech YouTuber. But anyways, so this is my handle. You can actually ask me questions and doubts regarding software engineering, data structure algorithms. Okay. Second thing is this. Thank you so much for attending the session. Of course, the entire tree topic is not completed yet. There are a lot of things remaining, such as view of a tree, BFS in a tree, some construct questions, some path sum questions, LCA and binary search tree, of course, is a separate topic. Matlab it is a subdivision. So a lot of topics are actually left, right? But these are only 3 sessions that are given to me, because from tomorrow onward the sessions are on development and everything else, the 160 sessions, right? Please do not go, abhi jao mat yaar, kuch bacche have left the session, don't go right now. Please wait to 2 3 minutes. Okay, so these were only 3 sessions, but if you guys actually loved my teaching, can you write in the chat if you loved the way I taught? If you actually loved the way I taught, then two things, ठीक है? Firstly, a free DSA series is coming. A free DSA series is coming. Okay, बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत ही बढ़िया. On GfG YouTube channel, but it will be recorded, and again it will be a self-paced course, and the videos that will be uploaded on this channel will come धीरे धीरे करके, मतलब slowly, but eventually they will be completed, right? Depending on my bandwidth, and there will be a batch which will be live, extremely affordable. ठीक है, extremely affordable for you guys. ठीक है, the price will be around 5 to 6 thousand rupees, not much, which will be a 3 month course, in which जैसे मैं आपको अभी पढ़ा रहा हूँ, आई एम टीचिंग यू राइट नाउ, ठीक है, इन अ लाइव फैशन. इफ आई श्राइवर भाई की म्यूचुअल में, हाँ हाँ, ही फॉलोज मी. ठीक है, जब उन्होंने सबसे पहले फॉलो किया था, तो आई एक्चुअली लाइक दैट. यस, इट इज़ नॉट मच. ठीक है, नहीं लॉल नहीं, इट इज़ नॉट मच, बिकॉज यू गाइज विल बी earning that much amount, ठीक है, in a single day when you will be a software engineer. But anyways, the thing is कि there is a live batch जिसमें complete DSA कराया जाएगा. ठीक है, complete DSA including trees and every single topic live by me, again in this manner, which will be very uh, good in terms of teaching, right? If you guys liked it, so you can join that batch. Abhi it has not launched yet. It will take around 10 12 days. ठीक है, so I will love if you guys just visit GfG channel, subscribe to GfG YouTube channel. It is free to subscribe the channel, and there will be announcement video coming out very soon. एक announcement आएगी बहुत बड़ी, coming soon. ठीक है, and you can text me on this for any sort of doubts as well. I will be taking a ask me anything session as well on YouTube and this Zoom kind of platform, जिससे आपके doubts और अच्छे से यार clear हो पाएंगे. ठीक है, सॉरी वा, इट्स ओके वासु. Don't spam again and again. Okay, it's okay. Yes, you can start GFG 160. I think if it has ended, then शायद नहीं हो पाएगा. Sir, shouldn't we? बहुत बढ़िया चोपड़ा, बहुत बढ़िया. Shouldn't we exit early as soon as we find some child not balanced instead of traversing the whole tree? Yes, you can. Yes, you can, my friend. In the chat, in the code. Let me show you the code as well. I was about to tell you that I just forgot about it. What Chopra is saying is, if I found out that the flag is false, then don't you think it will be repetitive to just like be in the code and call levels again and again? What you can do is, it was returning something. I don't care what it is returning right now, because if it comes out to be false, matlab I care about the return thing, what it is returning. But if flag comes out to be false, you can actually return anything. I'm returning -1, you can return anything, because I just want to finish the function. Return has two works. पहला काम जो रिटर्न करता है वो वैल्यू रिटर्न करता है विच इज मीनिंगफुल, व्हाट इज बीइंग रिटर्न टू द फंक्शन. ठीक है. And the second thing is, it finishes the function. So here I am using the return statement to actually end this function, because I have a false. If a single node is responsible for unbalanced tree, the entire tree will be unbalanced. Okay, so this will also work. This will have a better kind of better, not a better time complexity. You cannot actually evaluate it, but yes, a better code. Okay. So some tips to getting job. Yes, the only tip is, if you are in your first, second, third year, kind of college year, then focus on DSA. Your CGPA of college matters a lot, and do some web development. Make some 2 3 very very good projects. Okay, then you can get easily get a very very good job. Okay. तो डीएसए कौन सी लैंग्वेज में आप लोगे? सो बेसिकली यार, आई विल बी टेकिंग इन C++ काइंड एंड जावा. मतलब इट वोंट बी अ लैंग्वेज डिपेंडेंट बैच. ठीक है. अगेन, क्योंकि कॉन्सेप्ट्स आर मोर इम्पोर्टेंट, यू विल बी गेटिंग कोड्स ऑफ C++, जावा एंड पाइथन, ऑल थ्री. ठीक है. आई चूज व्हाट लैंग्वेज टू टीच, बट आई वुड रिकमेंड, बिकॉज आई एम डूइंग इट फ्रॉम द वेरी स्क्रैच. So even if you are comfortable in Python, you will be able to learn Java as well. Okay, so there won't be any problems. Okay. Yeah, for fourth year, it is very simple. Yeah, do good DSA, do good development, because CGPA is not in your hands now. Okay. And please make some connections. By connections, I do not mean कि LinkedIn पे किसी को भी टेक्स्ट डाल दिया. ऐसे दोस्त एक्चुअली में बनाओ जो है प्लेस्ड, who can give you a referral. Okay. All right, I'm already late. The guard uncle is actually waiting for me only. Let me say a goodbye to you. Again, please text me and tell if you love these lectures or not. I will mention you as well. And I will love if you guys just say that matlab, if you like the lecture. Okay? So also the batch is coming, so you can join. It is absolutely your choice. If you cannot afford it, then free DSA series is also there. Okay? बट आई वुड लव इफ़ यू आर एनरोल्ड इन माई लाइव बैच, बिकॉज वो एक एक्सपीरियंस बनता है फिर आपके और मेरे बीच में, जिसमें लाइव मैं आपका नाम ले सकता हूँ, मैं आपको पहचान सकता हूँ. उसमें आपको ये सब चीज़ें भी मिल जाएगी, बाय द वे. रिज्यूमे बिल्डिंग टिप्स हो गई, लिंक्डइन कैसे ग्रो करना है, ऑल दीज एक्स्ट्रा थिंग्स विच हेल्प यू गेट अ जॉब. ठीक है. तो यू विल बी गेटिंग ऑल दैट असिस्टेंस इन दैट बैच. ठीक है. बाय बाय. गुड नाइट.